Here we go, John. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again on the NFHS Network. Coming to you live from Boyertown Area Senior High School, where the Boyertown Bears boys team is opening up their home season. And they'll be taking on the, was it Lions, John? The Lions of Faith Christian Academy. We have about 3.5 minutes till the tip. We are hoping you all were able to join us on Facebook Live at 6:30 for our pregame show. John did a great job breaking down the rosters from Boyertown, the roster from, Faith Christian Academy as a whole. The rise to the first seat for Coach Travis Miller this year. So if you missed it, it's still there. John did a great job with that. Starting lineups for you tonight. Visiting Lions from Faith Christian Academy is going to be Chris Evans, Gerald Pinkney, Shane O'Connor, Bryce Robeson, and Levi Nice. John, did you say that is 4 juniors or 4 seniors and a junior? On the Boyertown side, we are looking at the opposite, mostly underclassmen starting tonight for Boyertown. Number 3, Ryan Tinney. 10, Zach Ward. 33, Richard Black. 42, Eddie Higgins. And the aforementioned in our pregame show, 23, Jake Kapp. John, all juniors, you said? With Eddie being the senior. So we will have the tip for you in 2 minutes and 23 seconds. We're going to pause for the national anthem, the starting lineups, and then we will be back as the Bears take on the Lions.
Senior number 3, Shane O'Connor. Senior number 21, Bryce Ross. And junior number 34, Eli Nice. Line and coached by Seth Carter, assisted by Del Moore, Reed Lance, Danny Blue, and Bernie Banks. And now, for your Boyertown Bears. Up comes the junior number 3, Ryan Tenney. Junior number 10, Zach Will. Junior number 23, Jake Gadd. Junior number 23, Richard Black. And senior number 42, Eddie Higgins. The Bears are coached by Travis Moore, assisted by Mike Mardello, Ross Romero, and Shane McCarthy. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the game.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just about ready for tip-off tonight. We're going to have Eddie Higgins going up against Captain America, Chris Evans.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Nice, good.
Thank you. I planned that one as soon as I wrote his name down about 25 minutes ago.
I'm surprised you sat on that for that long and didn't let it slip. Good job.
My Avengers notebook helped remind me.
Oh, good.
Higgins wins the tip. It goes right to Cap. And immediately we're going to get a three-pointer from Richard Black. And that goes down. John, that is a great way to start the season for Boyertown.
What a way to start the season for the home season here for the Boyertown Bears. Richard Black was somebody who last year in the JV squad got a bunch of shots up from the three-point wing and the three-point arc, and looking like he's having a hot start here to this game.
Boyertown comes in their first defensive set. Looks like we have a little 2-3 extended a little bit with some pressure, and Faith Christian turns it over the ball. Good start both offensively and defensively here for the Bears.
I'm going to guess that Coach Miller has elected to go with the 2-3 zone here because Eddie Higgins is a force down low. He was last year when he got his minutes, and you would think that this year, 1 year older, he would be. He's going to plug up that middle. Why wouldn't you play a 2-3 zone?
And there is the big man, Eddie Higgins, underneath. Makes it a 5-0 quick lead here for Boyertown. Looks like, John, they may exploit some of that size in Eddie Higgins tonight, too.
Well, it also looks like there's a little bit different defensive look here coming after a make. You had Tinney going up top here, showing a little bit of a different front, but now they've kind of retreated back into that 2-3.
Yeah, it did look a little 1-3-1 there initially when they came across midcourt, but they do look like they settled back into a 2-3. Long three-pointer there from Evans, no good. Good hustle there underneath by the basket by another Ryan. That's going to go out of bounds off the hands of Levi Nice. Boyertown's going to get it back. Ryan Tinney taking the point guard duties for Boyertown.
I know Coach Miller is excited about what Ryan Tinney brings. This is somebody who I've kind of seen play since he was a freshman here, and he can handle the ball. He can understand the game. The big thing with him is Coach Miller says is he has to be more vocal and he has to try to lead the team, and I think you're going to see that start to develop this year, certainly with Ryan. Seems like a nice young man and a good ball player.
Jake Cap's first chance of the season falls short. Fender got a little bit of piece of that. Looked like Jake was probably doing a little bit too much to try to draw a foul there rather than get that ball up into the hoop. We'll see what we can do defensively. Still a 5-0 lead. Just over 2 minutes into the game. Faith Christian trying to find an opening at top of that key. Long jump shot. Good defense there from Ward. Lions still scoreless. Eddie Higgins down on the block again. There goes that size. Great move by Higgins. But he's going to get called for an offensive foul. Looks like he maybe hooked him a little bit, John.
Yeah, a little bit. He's actually, Coach Miller is actually talking to him about that right now. I think that was a good entry pass. You saw Coach Miller say, get the ball up, push. It was a great entry pass. I want to see Jay Cap on the opposite side there move a little bit. I want to see him flood that corner. He just kind of stood there, and if Eddie hadn't have fouled, Jake wouldn't have been open here. So, again, early season stuff here, but I'm sure Coach Miller and the coaches will figure that out.
It's good pressure there from Jake Cap, forcing the turnover. 5:19 left in the first quarter. Still no score for Faith Christian Academy. Boyertown still with their 5 quick points. Nothing their last 2 trips down the court. Looks like Faith Christian's in there man-to-man. They're able to find Richard Black down on the low. I'm sorry, that's Ward on the low block. His turnaround is no good, but there's the big man, Eddie Higgins, with 2 more.
I think this is a savvy coaching move from Coach Miller. We talked before the game about who is that secondary scorer going to be. Run some plays early for a guy like Zach Ward if you think he's going to be your secondary option. Jake's going to get his looks. It seems like Eddie's going to get his looks too. Might as well try and get Zach involved early.
Nice ball fake there from Evans, and he finds Bryce Robeson in the corner for a 3. And the Lions are on the board. 7-3, 4:34 left in the quarter. Faith Christian still in that man-to-man. Ward finds Black. That one is no good. Evans with the rebound. Oh, that's going to be offensive. Great position there, John, is that Higgins. Higgins making that size known, both offensively and defensively here early tonight. Able to get that charge underneath.
You got to love a big guy who's willing to take the charge. I played with so many big men who will stand there and not fall over because it's like a, it's like a being a man thing for them. Like, you're not knocking me over. No, get knocked over and get the charge and give yourself a chance on the offensive end.
Great position there from Higgins. And, John, if they do that all night, that's 6 of the 9 points for Eddie Higgins. I don't see how Faith Christian's going to be able to stop that.
Keep feeding him the ball. Keep setting him up. If I'm Coach Miller, I'm trying to find sets in my playbook right now that I can use if you ever go stagnant, get the ball inside.
They were able to find Robeson down on the low block. Unfortunately, he gives it away. Here's Cap with his first long 3 of the season. That's off the front of the rim. Looks like they're going to call. I think he got away with that one. I think that went off of number 21, Bryce Robeson. But I think maybe they said that Richard Black's hands might have touched it first. Either way, Evans running the point for Faith Christian. Boyertown almost in like a matchup zone here, and Jake picks up the steal. Here comes Tinney. That's off the back of the rim. Nice position there by Robeson. He's able to get the rebound from Higgins, and here comes Evans. Jake Cap says no on the low block. Skip pass finds Pinckney, and they will reset.
So far, Coach Miller and his staff have been making the right calls. You're right, that looked like a little matchup, or it was just man-to-man with a trap. But as you can see, they only ran it once, and those are the best times when you run traps. Run it once, get your steal, and then get back into something else to lull that team to sleep, and you hope you can run that trap again later and get that same steal.
Shane O'Connor's jump shot from the foul line is no good. Faith Christian's going to foul on the rebound, and Boyertown will keep the ball. Reset, we got 9-3 here, Boyertown lead, 2:36 left in the first quarter. No substitutes yet in the game as Tinney brings it across the timeline.
In Boyertown's first game, they went deep into their bench, and in the second half, they kind of lost it a little bit. They got down, had a run against them, and couldn't answer. But you saw the second game, Coach Miller went to a 7-man rotation. It was just 2 guys off the bench, and they played much better in the fourth quarter, beat a good Penridge program. So I would expect the same thing here tonight, unless the game gets to a situation where the Bears can get to their bench. But I'd expect to see the same 5, 6, 7 guys out there tonight for Boyertown.
John, there looks like one of your things you were talking about, just an early season mishap that's probably going to make its way and improve throughout the season. Jake Cap went backdoor. Eddie Higgins gave it to him where he was, and that's a turnover. But again, they come down defensively, force another turnover for themselves, and they bring it back. They find Tinney in the corner, drives baseline, and he's going to get called for steps.
So after that hot start, we kind of cooled off a little bit here. You have the maybe the nerves a little bit here as Colin Eisenhart checks into the game, but I'm happy with what I see on the defensive end. If they keep doing this all year, it's going to be fun. Love to see a team that's quick and agile and gets after teams and traps, and they're definitely not playing passive, which I would not do in this 2-3 zone against Faith Christian. If you're going to play zone, be active, trap, try to get your steals.
Well, active is definitely what they have been in this zone. They've been extending it. Three-point wing shot is no good. Eddie Higgins again probably won't get credit for that rebound, but certainly was a part in Boyertown retaining possession. Here comes Ward driving left. They're going to call that on the floor. That's going to be the third team foul for the Lions. And Boyertown will have possession under the basket.
Looks like Zach has a knack for getting his shot as well. And again, that was something that we said in the opening. Are we going to see him develop a little bit here, that drive to the bucket? It looked like he did. He had a nice little move there as Jay Cap shows his ability to get to the rim, which, for an outside shooter like that, you need that sometimes. So good job by Jake.
That gets him on the board with 2. Boyertown with 11, under a minute left. 8-point lead for the Bears. That was tipped by Eisenhart. Faith Christian Academy will retain possession and make their first substitute of the game as Tyler Forst checks in for the Lions. Faith Christian out of Sellersville, Pennsylvania, over near Souderton High School. Probably about a 40-minute trip for them by bus. Long three-pointer, no good. Eisenhart gets on the stat sheet with his first rebound of the game. About 22 seconds left. I would think Boyertown would take the last shot here, but they will not. Ward from the corner is no good. Rebound Evans, and he got hit in the eye.
I think that was a smart decision by Colin Eisenhart there. After watching Colin play basketball for the last couple of years, that's a shot that Colin will usually pass up and give to somebody else, which is, that's his role. His role is to do other things on the floor. Made a good decision, got the ball to the guy who you're trying to get going in tonight's game. Just unfortunately didn't fall.
3 seconds left. Evans puts one up. That is no good. And we end the first quarter here. Pretty exciting for the first 90 seconds.
Right.
Then it kind of leveled off a little bit. Boyertown nicely though out to an 11-3 lead. And early on, you said, John, did you happen to see their game against Penridge? Did you go or
no? Reading about it though, it did sound like it was close, back and forth, and then in the fourth quarter, where they kind of fell apart in the first game. In the second half, fourth quarter, they really ran away with it at Penridge. And if you read the article, you heard the players say as much when they said, "Listen, we kind of talked about things after game one, realized that we had to play better in the second half, and they buckled down, made some plays, and I think they outscored Penridge something like 16-6 in that fourth quarter." Which I could only imagine they were playing with this high of defensive intensity and making clutch shots.
Yeah, defensively, I would really think, again, we say we don't really know much about this Faith Christian team, but on that defensive end of the court for Boyertown, really impressed with the intensity, really impressed with the pressure, and that's the type of thing they're going to have in this pack. When they face opponents like the Perk Valleys, the Spring Fords, and Owen Jays, those quicker teams, and the Facton even as well, who's notoriously been quick in guard play. That's certainly something that's going to do well for them come conference season.
I'm happy to see them play so well defensively. Coach Miller just always kind of assumed the role of somebody who was very involved in the offense when he was an assistant. So I'm happy to see that he seems to have developed a defensive identity for this team. Like, listen, we're going to play zone. And I was going to say, I'm concerned if you're playing zone against a team like this where you're saying, hey, we think we're better than you. Well, then why are you playing zone? But if you can trap, if you can be active, if you can force them into shots like that, then play your zone and play it hard.
Dylan Class checks into the game for the start of the second quarter. More great defense from Boyertown. Nice save from Jake Cap to keep that ball in play. His long three-pointer is no good. Jake a little cold here to start the game, but that will not stay for very long.
Correct. And looking back on things, I bet he's going to watch film and say, maybe I shouldn't have taken that. But I'm sure he's looking to get going. But sometimes you have these games where you just got to let the game come to you. Let Eddie get a couple of more touches inside when he gets back in the game. Let Faith Christian try to adjust and take Eddie away, and that should free him up a little bit more on the outside.
Corner three-pointer for Faith Christian by Tyler Force goes in. Their only 2 baskets of the game have both been three-pointers, and now it's 11-6. And it looks like Faith is sticking in. Here comes Jake driving baseline. That's no good. Quick fast break from Evans. He fakes it, lays it up. That's short. Rebound from probably the smallest kid on the court, in Gerald Pinckney. And he'll pull it back out. Lions still struggling to find anything inside here. Foul line jump shot is no good over the long arm. I believe that was Eisenhard. Now we have Tinney and Ward at the top of the key. Tinney will take it. Finding Jake Kapp in the corner for 3. That goes in and out. And here comes Evans. He gets fouled. He'll go to the line for 2.
Looks like Faith Christian is now going to a 3-2 zone, trying to take away those wing threes, but that's a smart call by Coach Miller there. You got exactly what you wanted. In a 3-2 zone, a vulnerable spot there is going to be that corner shot. And Colin Eisenhard did a great job setting that screen. There was no one there to defend it. Jake got off a good look, and he's somebody who's going to have to keep on shooting, and you hope that at some point in the game he starts to figure it out, because for them to win, obviously Jake has to score a couple of points and make a few shots, which again I'm sure he will keep shooting.
Captain America hits both of his free throws. Cuts it to a 3-point lead for Boyertown. A little bit more intensity there, as Faith Christian certainly in there. 3-2 popping out to pressure the top of the key. Turns into almost a 1-2-2. Certainly trying to get movement, trying to cut off that inside. They just collapsed when that ball went to the top of the key. Tinney drives baseline, and it's good for him. Great move from Ryan Tinney.
I like the movement up top there, and it does nothing else than just gets the defense moving and gets them, thinking about cutters, and you're not staying stagnant. That was we're not counting that good. It was a good job up top there to create that movement, and that's what allowed Tinney to get to that bucket, because that wing was worried about a cutter up top, and Tinney was able to get there and hit the floater.
Yeah, John, it's not the NBA. I think that would clearly be a continuation call if they would
probably, yes.
If they would have given that one.
He would have had 2 more steps after that.
John, our favorite topic, out of bounds plays underneath the basket. And they're going to call a jump ball on this one. That wasn't any of your ones. That was just send Evans in the middle.
They're all different versions of the same play. That's all it is. It's like one play, and you just run different versions of it. And they all sometimes find a way to work.
And that one, except for that one, ended up in a jump ball. Boyertown gets possession. Nice screen at the top of the key. Better defense underneath from Shane O'Connor. And did they call a foul?
They did. There must have been some body contact there, because that was quite the swat that Tinney had on him, but he's going to the line.
Ryan Tinney attempting the first foul shots of the game for Boyertown. Makes the first one 14-8. Bear lead. 5:06 left in the half. Makes the second. Both teams shooting 100% from the foul line, John. It's a good start to the season.
Did you have to say that, Jim?
Boyertown now in a man-to-man. Coach from Faith Christian wants his motion offense. which makes Chris Evans take a shot from the top of the key, and that falls short.
I'm sure that's not part of the motion offense there.
Boyertown now extending around the corners, trying to flash low post, high post. Having a hard time finding those openings ever since Faith Christian moved to this other defense here towards the top of the key. Ball moving around there. They find inside to Dylan Class. That one is blocked, and Higgins will check back in the game.
We'll see now if they can try to find something down low again. I guess they're trying to put 4 guys up top there just to match up against Faith Christian's 3, because now you have an odd man situation there, hoping to find some sort of a seam to then look for the guys down low or in the gray area, or just pop a 3 like that. But, at some point, I'm sure Coach Miller here has a bunch of different zone offensive looks that he can throw at this team. And, I would look for a variety of different things, especially if the Bears kind of stay in this, not funk, but kind of like hot, cold situation.
Jake Kapp checks back into the game. Zach Ward will take a break. 3:48 left in the half. Boyertown still in that man-to-man. Some screen and some moving here from the Lions. And Ryan Tinney ends up with that over to Cat. And he misses that layup. Nice switch there by Boyertown. Eddie Higgins comes out on forced off of that screen. Three-point attempt from O'Connor is good. 3 field goals made in the game for Faith Christian, all 3-pointers.
That's what high school basketball is, Jim. Don't we say that? It's either a 3-pointer or a layup, and that's about it. There's no mid-range game anymore, and it seems like Faith Christian is very comfortable just taking that long shot.
Jake's 3-pointer falls short. There is Higgins underneath. He's able to muscle his way up for his 8th point of the game. And we have a timeout. Boyertown.
I would expect Coach Miller here maybe trying to put some separation between Boyertown and Faith Christian going into halftime. So maybe draw up some sort of a trap here, something that Faith Christian has not seen before, see if you can get a quick steal. I mean, if you go on a quick 4-0 run here, all of a sudden it's a 10-point game. You probably cause Faith Christian to burn one of their timeouts, and now all of a sudden you're looking pretty good going into the half. So look for some sort of defensive look we haven't seen here yet from the Bears, and hopefully a couple of steals.
2:36 until that halftime. Neither team really in any foul trouble, so we're been pretty much a clean game so far. 14 fouls each. So if my math serves me correct, we probably should not see the 1-on-1 scenario here in the first half, which means we'll probably end up in the double bonus with a minute left.
or the refs will try to balance things out and just call everything in the second half, and it'll grind to a halt.
It's nice when you can, we're almost done with the first half here, John, and other than maybe one questionable call on a block, we really even didn't have to blink our eyes or anything. So it's a very well officiated game thus far.
It's nice when they're invisible.
Faith Christian gets called for 3 seconds in the paint. So Tinney will bring it across the timeline to get the offensive set here started for Boyertown. Keeping on the right side of the court here. Tinney's 3-pointer is long. Black is there for the rebound. Tinney's going to take it inside this time. And Boyertown will retain possession. John, I'm predicting this is going to end up in a Jake Kapp 3-point attempt from a corner. Right call, wrong player, but it's going to go the other way.
Looked like Jake was trying to get there. Looked like he was hanging out there in the lane looking for that screen. Looked like Boyertown was trying to swing that ball all the way around. Just didn't happen. Jake probably did the right thing and coming up to the wing to make that pass down to Richard Black. But unfortunately, Boyertown, again, kind of in that hot-cold roller coaster here where they look good for a couple possessions and then go cold.
Now they settle back into that 2-3 zone extended that they started the game with. Skip pass over to Evans. Marcus Pringle had checked in for Faith Christian. Did not see him enter the game, but he is out there on the left wing currently. Evans still running the point. Nice drive by Evans. That's going to be another offensive foul. That is the second drawn offensive foul for Higgins tonight. Number of subs check in with 1:12 left in the half.
Another nice job by Eddie Higgins, just going ahead and taking that charge for the team. We talk about foul trouble. If he goes up to block that shot and the other one, it's 2 possible fouls, and he might be on the bench right here with a minute left in the half. So good to see the old team concept here on defense, and you hope Boyertown can get the last bucket here and try to push this lead closer to double digits before halftime.
We have under a minute left, 50 seconds. And Faith Christian really has not gone out of that 3-2 zone. They find Jake Kapp at the low block. He's able to put it up. It doesn't fall, but he will go to the line for 2.
Like what Coach Miller's doing here. They're putting Jake Kapp in different spots. I wonder if that's something they've worked on in practice, or this is just kind of a response to what's going on here in the game. But you have your leading scorer who's kind of struggling to get going. Put him in a different spot. Get him down low. Get him a different look. Great pass there by, I think it was Tinney who found him. Just can't get anything to fall here on the floor, but good for Jake that he finally has something go through here with that first foul shot.
He does have a field goal early in the game.
Oh, he does. Oh, on like a layup.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those 2 foul shots give him 4 on the night. 18-point lead. I'm sorry. 19-11. 8-point lead for Boyertown. Just about 30 seconds left in the half. Faith Christian really hasn't been able to do anything offensively except this pass along that perimeter. Occasional drive, occasional pass to the paint, but it's been mostly just waiting for an opening. There's a skip pass you get when you try, and that's going to be a wide open 3-pointer for Evans. He could have sat down, made himself a sandwich.
Ooh, a sandwich.
Put that one up. He had all the time in the world to take that shot. And that 3-pointer from Zach Ward is going to fall short. So what we were hoping would end up being a double-digit lead. Double-digit lead ends up only being 5. We're going to take a break here into halftime. Mr. Clade is going to make an announcement about our half-court shot. Go ahead there, John.
Ladies and gentlemen, I call your attention to half-court. Once again, the Boyertown boys basketball team will be holding the half-court shootout during the half. Every made half-court shot wins a $10 gift card to Doc Watson's. Each shot is worth $1. Once again, winning shots get $10 gift cards to Doc Watson's. Come down the half-court now with the $1, ready to shoot your half-court shot. Thank you.
John, that was a great job by you.
Just jack of all trades up here. And there's like 3 microphones here around me. I can't keep track which microphone is hooked into which jack to which audio here, but it worked out.
And I'm not sure what goes on, John, but we have been, this half-court shot for the boys usually has a line, and they're turning people away at the end of halftime. And we finally have our first 2 customers to come out to shoot, and here comes some people.
Here we go. All you needed is that first icebreaker. It's like a middle school dance, right? middle school principal and middle school teacher here. Everyone stands on the side at the wall. It just takes that one person to start dancing, and everybody joins in.
Until Mr. Kaleda gets the microphone and riles up the crowd and starts doing the sprinkler in the middle of the cafeteria.
All right, that was a younger version of Mr. Kaleda. New version of Mr. Kaleda, beaten down and tired because of his own children at home, doesn't have time for that.
John, that's such is life with kids. They tire you out, but they do make life exciting at times. John, what was dinner tonight? I had a great dinner tonight.
You did?
I did.
It was meatloaf tonight for
Nice.
us. Meatloaf, taters, gravy. It was a solid dinner.
That's
It
like
was a solid dinner. It was
that's
good. It was a good dinner.
comfort food dinner.
Correct.
Comfort food dinner. John, we decided to go to the Americana Diner for an early dinner tonight. And I had myself a gyro.
A hero. A
I'm
hero.
a big, I don't know.
Gyro.
I say
I don't know. I don't know either.
I am a big gyro fan. And
Really?
that Americana Diner has one heck of a gyro. It is very, very good. Max had himself a couple pieces of French toast.
Oh, you don't have your 14-month-old having the gyros yet?
Oh,
No?
he had a little bit of the gyro meat. He loved it. He actually ate more of that than he did the French toast, I think. But John, that's the sign. It's funny you mentioned the meatloaf. When you talk about diners, a couple things you have to do when you go to a diner to determine whether it's a good diner. Here's what you do.
I have my own thoughts
Oh,
here,
you
so
do?
go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Number one, open-faced roast beef sandwich with gravy and French fries. That is the deciding factor of a diner on the quality of the roast beef, the quality of the gravy, and the quality of the French fries. That meal right there is able to tell you whether or not it is a good diner.
Interesting.
The second item, if you're a breakfast person and you can hit the diner at breakfast, the amount of hash browns you get or home fries with your meal. If they're stingy and you have like an ice cream scooper size of home fries, it's not good. But if they're willing to pile on those home fries and basically more than half of the plate is home fries, quality dining.
Now, the Kaleda method to figure out if a diner is quality, number one, you immediately beeline it to the salad bar. How does the salad bar look? Do they have two types of lettuce? Do they have that little romaine mix and the darker green stuff? And do they have that little like broccoli salad? You know what I mean? The
Yes.
broccoli with like that little sauce on it.
Yes.
Number two is, do they offer a chopped sirloin? And if they do, can you get grilled onions and mushrooms on it? There it is.
John, that's interesting. And you know why that is interesting?
Why is that?
I like to think of myself as a diner connoisseur. I have never in my life ordered chopped sirloin
Chopped sirloin, huh?
at a diner.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
It's basically a hamburger. It's a hamburger on a plate, Jim, but it's a diner.
So they have to call it chopped sirloin?
They call it chopped sirloin, and I guess when I ordered, I say steak, and it's just a hamburger, but still, throw some gravy on there, some onions, some mushrooms, you got a meal.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to have to give myself a chopped sirloin with onions a try one time. I'm usually the open-faced roast beef. That's a go-to. Americana with the gyro. That's definitely a go-to at the Americana. But John, when I'm feeling healthy, which I know as you're looking at me now isn't very often, my go-to at restaurants recently has been a Cobb salad.
Ooh.
That's been a staple when I go to different places, and everyone is different of what they put in their Cobb salad, but I like the egg, the olive, the bacon, the blue cheese crumble, the chicken, the avocado, tomato. There's just a lot of toppings there. It ends up being some solid stuff with a good balsamic vinaigrette.
So the only salad that is a good salad is a chef salad, which is about 75% deli meats and about 25% lettuce. If there's even any lettuce in there, it could just be a plate of deli meats for all I care.
I would certainly be okay with a plate of deli meat and nothing else. John, we have about 3:40 left in halftime as Boyertown comes out to warm up. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will have the second half and also possibly some insight into what meal 2 will be for the Reverend John T. Kaleda and myself once this game is over.
Dinner number 2. Got to have
be
it.
a Taco Bell night.
Ooh, 4th meal. Good job.
We'll see you in 3:18. We are back. 30 seconds left until we start this second half. Looking at the score line here, Boyertown holding a 5-point lead, 19-14 over Faith Christian Academy. Eddie Higgins leading all scores with 8 points. Richard Black with the only three-pointer of the game for Boyertown. They were 1 for 7 in the first half. Jake Kapp, a field goal, 2 foul shots, gives him 4. Same for Ryan Tinney. Faith Christian side, very even scoring attack. They have made 4 field goals, all three-pointers, from Chris Evans, Shane O'Connor, Tyler Forst, and Brian Robeson. Add 2 more free throws from Chris Evans, and you have their 14. John, what are we going to see in the second half?
Well, hopefully you're going to see a quick 2 or 3 minutes here from the Bears where they can get this lead from 5 and try to up it, again, closer to double digits. Faith Christian here seems like a solid team, but without a true lead scorer, without that person who's going to just kind of take over a game. So you can't let this kind of team hang around. Take it to them right here. Knock down this shot or get a good shot here and put the pressure on them.
This shot being a three-pointer from Zach Ward, that falls incomplete. Still in football season.
I understood what you meant.
Good hustle by Jake Kapp, not only on the defensive end to get that turnover from Faith Christian on their first possession, but that effort on the rebound keeps Boyertown's ball in their end. Not surprisingly, Faith Christian staying in that same defensive set that they've had towards the end of the first half that really kind of slowed Boyertown down a little bit. Johnny, like to see a little bit more movement inside from Higgins Higgins and Ward, but as I say that, Higgins just shuts me up. About to have a 3-point play from the line.
Well, it seems like what Faith Christian is doing now is they're taking that top guy in the 3-2 and they're dropping him down to help on Eddie Higgins, and Higgins was trying to direct the ball up top and say, hey, get it to the wing. Let me seal my guy in a one-on-one situation. I think they might have him available if he tries to seal his guy on a little skip pass almost from the opposite wing down to the block. So I think, like we said in the first half, key is going to be, can they keep getting him involved? He seems to be their one offensive option that has been good from the start and good now.
Still perfect from the foul line. There's a missed 3-pointer by Pinckney. Tinney's going to come the other way. He's going to take a 3 of his own. That is long. Captain America with the rebound. He's going to go right at Ryan Tinney. Great defense from Eddie Higgins. That went off the leg of Evans. Boyertown will get the ball back. First kind of emotion you've seen from a player there on that defensive, getting back on defense from Eddie Higgins. Forcing the ball off of the leg of his opponent. And the Bears able to get back down on the offensive end. Great baseline play from Eddie Higgins, and he is taking over.
It's a big boy. For the last couple of years, they have had some big gentlemen on this team, guys who we say, why are they not playing football? And I think we've all said that about Eddie, but if he keeps playing like this and making shots and being a force down low, I totally understand why you would stick with basketball. So good job so far by Eddie Higgins. He is definitely going to have to keep it up here to keep the Bears in front by double digits.
Corner 3 is long. Still wouldn't put it past Coach T.J. Miller to find him in the hallways, though, John. Give him a little nudge.
He is a junior, you're right.
Give him a little nudge the way to the field. And there is Eddie. Tries to find it through 3 different players, unable to do so. Evans tries to take it himself, unsuccessfully. Lions will reset. Try to find those gaps in this Boyertown defense. Is it a third? No, it's not a third charge. They're going to give Eddie the body foul on that.
I don't know if anybody. Listen, Eddie, if you can hear me, I don't think anybody has ever taken 3 charges in a game. If you take 3 charges, that opposing coach is going to go bonkers. So, Eddie, if I'm you, stop trying, stand up, straight tall, contest the shot. I doubt you're going to get that call again.
Jake Cat gets a rebound, doesn't even have to leave the floor. They find him. He takes it baseline himself, cut off nicely by O'Connor. There's Tinney. He's going to get called for a walk. Looks like he might have taken that step before the line defender got their hands on the ball, which would have been a jump ball.
Yeah, I thought I saw a jump ball there. Must have got that step in just before.
Boyertown has that double-digit lead now, John, 10 points. Faith Christian has not yet scored in the second half. Very similar to the first half. They were very slow to get on the board offensively. This foul will be called on the floor, and it'll be possession under the basket.
You've seen some real sloppy play here from the Bears with just not taking care of the ball, and then you see 2 or 3 possessions where you say, hey, great job, great movement, and then a couple other times they just don't take advantage of opportunities because the ball's slipping out of their hands, they're missing easy shots, or they're missing open looks. So again, stuff that you're going to work on. You hope that you can get through this game, you can show a little growth, you can get a win, hopefully, but certainly Coach Miller is going to have some things that his guys can work on after this game.
Gerald Pinckney unable to get possession of that one. Normally you'd think he probably would have gotten into the backcourt before he took possession of that ball. He tried to save it there. Unsuccessfully, and Boyertown gets the ball back, trying to extend this 10-point lead. Jake Cap from the corner. Looks like he's getting called for a push-off.
Looks like somebody down low was getting called for it, and kind of, thank God Jake missed that, because how terrible would that have been? He's been fighting all night for when he makes it, and then it gets called off because of a foul underneath. So Jake, I know, is still looking for that one, but if he gets that shot, he needs to keep shooting it. That's a big part of their offense. Keep at it.
John, it's the only way a shooter can get out of a slump is to keep shooting. That's sage advice there from you.
From Michael Scott, too.
Yes, yes, it is. Via Wayne Gretzky.
Correct.
Looks like Chris Evans is going to the line to shoot 3. We got some nice advice up on the board here from Mr. Palladino. Put up a nice inspirational quote for us, John. As Evans makes his first one. If you're not first, you're last. From Ricky Bobby.
So thank you to all the voters who voted us first place in the local PAC color commentary and play-by-play men contest. Wasn't there a contest we were voted number 1?
Yeah.
Did I just make that up?
I didn't know it existed.
Yeah. Yeah, we were number 1. We were voted number 1.
By whom?
I don't know. Your son Max probably had a vote. I think
there were
my
John,
daughters.
There might have been 2 votes. My wife and your wife. Faith Christian comes out and tries to do a little bit of a pressure. Unsuccessfully, Eddie Higgins is all alone under the basket, puts up 2 more. He's in double digits. Boyertown back in that extended 2-3. John, I thought that whole comment about being award-winning was a joke. I did not know a contest actually existed.
It's like plenty of other things that are happening right now in the booth here, Jim. It's a complete joke.
And Jake Kapp misses that 3-pointer as well off the fingers of a Lion, goes out of bounds. We still have a 10-point lead. 26-16, 3:24 left in the third quarter. Wow, great defense there from Chris Evans from behind. Great block. Great snag by Evans as well. John, we talk a lot about either a layup or a 3-pointer offensively. I'm not even seeing a lot of movement from Faith Christian.
No, they seem pretty content to be stagnant, which is what we said about Coach Miller's offense, and we like the fact that he had his guards up top moving. We like the fact that he had some movement down low with Eddie Higgins. So it's very easy, believe me. Playing in the old man rec league at the YMCA, zone offense was nice. Stand around, you try to shoot that 3. Here at high school, it's different. You need that movement. You need to be flooding the corner if the ball gets to the high post. You need your guards to move a little bit to make that top part of the zone move.
Another one falls short for Jake. Lions come the other way. Try to go into Eddie Higgins. And they're going to go back to the line, try to cut into this 10-point lead, 2:39 left. It'll be Pinckney at the line, shooting 2. Try to get into the score line for the first time. He does not on the first one. He'll have another chance. Faith Christian Academy still does not have a field goal that is not a 3-pointer. They do not have a field goal this half yet either, John.
I just don't know if they have the offensive firepower to make a big comeback in this game, but you're going to hope that the Bears can keep on trying to separate a little bit, and hopefully one of these falls. Thank God. Nice, Jake.
There it is for Jake. That's more like it, and Travis Miller calls a timeout, and I think he'll probably walk up to Jake and said, see, told you it would go in eventually. And I bet you that's exactly what he said to him, John. See that?
I think I just saw Coach Miller smile there, and maybe this whole timeout was just a little bit of like, hey, yeah, there you go. Good job. Keep it up. Keep shooting. And then I've gone through shooting nights like this too, like Jake is going through, and it's tough. It's tough mentally. You kind of feel at some point you're like, am I letting everybody else down here because I'm not making them? But you're not. You're a big part of the offense. You're a big part of the team. He needs to keep shooting. He needs to be involved. So I'm sure that part of this was Coach Miller saying, listen, I'm going to go hype my guy up a little bit, get him back into this game. And now we have a 12-point lead. Again, is there something new going to come out here on defense for the Bears? Are they going to try and trap here and get another steal? If they can get a couple of quick points here, get this 12-point lead to maybe 15 by the fourth quarter, game might be essentially over.
We'll see what they do there, not opting for any kind of full court, half court, three-quarter court, quarter court, whatever you want to call it, pressure. They're going to, I guess technically this is quarter court pressure. Technically. Packing in that same zone. John, you've had cold shooting nights?
There was one night I can remember where I only scored, it was like 22 or 23. It was just one of those nights, you know.
Jay Cap all alone for another rebound. And then you woke up, right, John? Tinney over to Black in the corner. He puts that down. That's 2 in a row for Boyertown from distance. Extending that lead, just like you said, John. You're prophetic once again. Nostradamus-like. You got Shane O'Connor kind of parked all alone on that low block. It's almost like just Boyertown's just tempting them to try to make that skip pass into the low block. They're
really,
not doing it, though.
That's the great part about having Eddie Higgins down there. If he puts his hands up, his hands are down now, but if his hands are up, you are not getting that pass through. So sure, stand there, put your hands up, and let them try that pass. He'll snag it.
Here's that 15-point lead you were talking about, John. Make it 18. Another three-pointer from Richard Black. That's 2 in a row. And, John, this game was a lot closer a minute ago. But you come out of a timeout, hit a few three-pointers, stop the other team offensively, and you extend your lead, just like Boyertown has done.
If you really think about it, had the Bears just made a couple of those three-pointers that they missed in the first half, the game would have been like this a whole lot sooner. So it's nice that they were able to defensively keep Faith Christian off the board for a little bit while they went through this shooting funk that they were in. But, again, game like this early in the season, you haven't hit your league slate yet. You're looking for growth. You're looking for things to work on as well. So I would bet film tomorrow, practice tomorrow. You're talking everything offense. You're figuring out how to get the open looks, and you're just shooting, trying to make sure that the guys know they got their shots, but they just got to make them.
54 seconds left in the third quarter. John, once again, you've shown your knowledge of this game. It's like you're Biff Tannen. You went back in time, got information, came back, and knew what was going on.
Marty McFly is a go-to Halloween outfit for me. The red, the red like life preserver vest.
I can see that.
The rolled up sleeves. But man, would I love to dress as Biff Tannen? And we're talking 1980s rich Biff Tannen too. Good call, Jim.
With the fake Donald Trump-like comb over the.
Actually, people might say, "Oh, who are you, Donald Trump?" You say, "No, I'm Biff Tannen." Come on.
I would go for old man Biff Tannen in the orange tracksuit.
Well, how about this? Let's get your son Jimmy, and let's make him be young Biff Tannen. I'll be middle-aged Biff Tannen. You be the old Biff Tannen. We'll just do all Biff Tannens.
John, that is a great idea. And he's 21 now, so we could do this at an adult Halloween party as well.
Wonderful. Great.
Jimmy, if you're listening, you're booked for next Halloween. 4 seconds left. Three-pointer for Faith Christian is going to be long. And Boyertown is going to head into the fourth quarter with an 18-point lead. Behind 3 late quarter three-pointers. 1 from Jake Kapp, 2 from Richard Black. He's got 3 three-pointers on the night.
Richard Black is somebody who, just kind of looking at the makeup of the team, kind of doubt that Richard will be counted on to score double digits at all this season. But, man, is it nice to have that guy who you can count on to make three-pointers, and it makes a team have to game plan just a little bit more. And Griffin Hummel not being here is unfortunate because that just gives the Bears one more shooter. And Griffin might have kind of served that role if he were able to play. But, having Richard Black on the floor there, especially in that starting lineup, you're going to make another team game plan for not just Jake Kapp, not just Zach Ward, not just Eddie Higgins, but you're going to have to talk about Richard Black and not leaving him open. So good player to have on the floor for them. for somebody else who can just kind of fire up a three at will.
So looking at the scoreboard to start the fourth quarter, 35 for Boyertown, 17 for Faith Christian Academy. Boyertown also leading in the fouls category. They have 5 team fouls to Faith Christian's 1. And John, I think you're right. I just do not see the offensive presence from Faith Christian to cut into this large lead. The only saving grace they may have is the fact that, again, all of their field goals have been three-pointers. And Boyertown held them field goal-less in that third quarter. So it's certainly going to be hard to come back if you don't make any field goals. Faith Christian does what they need to do that first possession, stopping Boyertown. Here comes their first three-pointer. That's going to be no good. Cap drives, dishes off to Eddie Higgins. Unable to convert. Fine Higgins again on the block. He makes it. And he'll go to the line for one more.
Nice look in there, not only from Jay Cap earlier, but nice look from Zach Ward there. Little like semi-lob pass in there, a little tiny lob pass to Eddie Higgins. Eddie Higgins seems to be doing a very good job with body control, and I would just have to think this is a big part of practice. Looking for him and finding ways to get the ball to him, because he seems very good at not only posting up regular, but also posting up kind of reverse sealing his guy and kind of wanting that ball and putting his arm out towards the basket. So good job looking for him by the Boyertown guards, and good job by Eddie Higgins tonight finishing those shots off.
Not a good job by Eddie Higgins. They're no longer perfect from the foul line. But they do have a 20-point lead. Long three-pointer from Evans. That's no good. Give Higgins another rebound. Ward brings it the other way for Boyertown. Looks like Faith Christian is in a man-to-man here now. No, I take that back. They're still almost... John, what are they in?
Well, we're standing. We haven't sent a cutter through. Once Boyertown sends a cutter through, we can tell. They might have just come out of it here.
And we'll never know.
So Boyertown, it's fine holding back here, making them come out a little bit and play. But once they come out and play, then you have to have something called. You have to know what you're running. You have to get moving a little bit. So not a bad idea to get Faith Christian to come out of their defense, but you need to immediately go into a man set once they come out and play.
Boyertown comes the other way. Here's a three-pointer from Ward. That hits the front of the rim, and that's what they call a home gym bounce, as it just slides right in there for Ward. That's his first basket of the game. And he finds Black inside. Unable to convert, but he will go to the line.
So, positives from the game you're taking away here. In the pregame show, we talked a lot about Jay Cap and Zach Ward, and those two have kind of struggled tonight here to get going. But the good thing here is you saw a couple of guys step up. You saw Eddie Higgins step up and take advantage of some serious mismatches down below. And you see Richard Black come through with a couple of points. I think that's probably his 10th or 11th point right now here. So you have a couple of guys who are stepping up in the absence of your two major scorers so far. That's a positive for the Bears. You want to have as many scorers on the floor as possible.
Ryan Tinney checks back in the game for the Bears. Good defense there again by Boyertown. Just doing a number on this Faith Christian offense here in the second half. Layup by Pinckney's no good. It's going to be a foul on Tinney, and we'll have 2 more foul shots.
So here now you're up by 25. Right here, you have to start making goals. for your team, and you got to say, listen, we're not worried about the scoreboard right now. Let's get better at something here. Something I would love to see Boyertown get a little bit better at here is crashing the offensive glass. Eddie Higgins is obviously going to be down there, and he's looking for that board. But, otherwise it's not. You don't have 3 or 4 guys crashing the glass every time. If they can find a way to get some second chance opportunities here and make that a part of their game, which is so tough to develop that at this age, that'd be something certainly I think you could work on here, because it seems like you've had a chance to run everything else. You're running your sets, you're getting your shots. Why not work on something like that?
Zach Ward puts up a 3, gets his own rebound. Tinney kicks it out to him. Nice ball moving here from Boyertown. Eisenhart, beautiful ball fake, better drive. Unable to get it to fall. Gets his own rebound. He'll be rewarded with 2 foul shots.
He's rewarded, but did you see there? Once he got in there, he was the only guy in that lane. The only guy. There should be a couple other guys in there working with him, fighting with him, kind of boxing other guys out and getting those Faith Christian guys out of the way. So always things to work on here. Positives, though, for the Bears tonight. They did figure it out here in the second half, getting some shots to fall. For the most part, I would say they've taken care of the ball in their half-court sets that they're running when they run their offense. They run their plays. In transition, a couple of times lost the ball. That could be something to work on here. But overall, a solid game from the Bears here, and they're going to like to get this win early in the season. That's going to push them to 2-1.
Seth Kiefer checks in the game for Boyertown. Long 3-pointer is no good, and the drought is over as Gorka DiDiego finally puts Faith Christian on the board with a field goal. John, I'm pretty happy we got to say Gorga DiDiego tonight.
It's an awesome name.
Eisenhart goes right by Gorga. Kicks it back out. Been very impressed with Tinney tonight. Has done some things nicely offensively, running the point for Boyertown. A little hard on his layup there.
He could always handle. Watching him in ninth grade, he could always handle. Now it's going to be a fact of trying to get him to get some sort of offensive presence there. Can he figure out what it's going to be? Is he going to be somebody who drives, somebody who can pop a shot here? But he could always handle. Now the key for him is, can he run an offense and be a leader out there and make shots when he has to?
Eisenhart was given baseline. He takes it. Can't get the layup to fall. Evans comes the other way. Long 3-pointer for Faith Christian. That's going to be no good. But they'll keep the ball. That was an out-of-bounds play we have not seen yet, John. Certainly didn't fall into one of the categories you were talking about before. I don't know if I've ever seen the from under the basket go to the backcourt with it. Doesn't happen very often.
Well, it just shows the Bears had whatever they were doing snuffed out, and it's tough. It's tough to get those shots going to the basket if you play that 2-3 or 3-2 underneath. And usually a lot of teams will go to a zone underneath because it takes away some inside screen-the-screener opportunities. So, that just shows it was a good defensive possession there for the Bears. And we're going to get a look at some other guys here, it looks like, checking into the game.
Pinkney able to convert. He'll go to the line for one more. Jordan Butler's checking into the game, along with Michael Moshe. And Trey Soto making his first appearance as well. Looks like Coach Miller giving his starters some rest here. With just over 3 minutes to play, Boyertown clinging to a 22-point lead.
Nice verb there, Jim.
Thanks. Got to make it exciting, John. It looks like Faith Christian now in a man-to-man. We have an offensive foul. They will get the ball back. 21 points in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. John, I don't like their chances. I think they have a better chance of going on a diet than they do of coming back to win this game. What do you think? I mean, even if I eat a salad, it's a Cobb salad with bacon and all that stuff on it. I can't even get away from the bacon in a salad.
You know, we talked about my exercise bike last year. Have you invested in something, Jim, to help you along with the diet, or no?
Have I invested in an exercise bike?
Or any sort of exercise machinery or a program, Jim? It's all about the program nowadays.
John, I have the Insanity series sitting at home.
Yeah.
With probably a nice layer of dust on it at this point in time. John, I'm going to tell you a true story about my Insanity workout. I've tried Insanity or started the Insanity workout 4 different times in my life, John. And I was really successful one time. And I was working out years ago. Owen, who is now 16, was probably 7, 8 years old at the time. So I just get done doing my Insanity workout, and I walk downstairs, and I'm dripping sweat, so I took my T-shirt off. And he looked at me and said, "Dad, your workouts really are doing a good job." I said, "Why is that?" He said, "Because your belly button isn't pointing down anymore. It's sticking straight. It's looking straight out."
Oh, man.
How about that for a compliment? When your belly button's not facing down anymore, it's actually upright, looking straight where it's supposed to be.
Just
That might have been the best compliment I had received in my entire career of working out.
that was the best. Okay.
Might have been.
Okay.
Boyertown still has the 22-point lead. As Dylan Class misses his first shot, first chance at the foul line of the game. Converts the second for his first point. He's now on the score line for the Bears. Under 2 minutes left in the game. Faith Christian trying everything in their power, including a drive to the left. Dip it, dunk it under, flip it underneath the defender's arm, and try to fling it up to the hoop. Unfortunately, it's not successful. Dylan Class on the low block, also not able to get it to go in.
I'll tell you, Faith Christian has done, you know, it's kind of a weird compliment here for them, but there have been times when I've thought that Boyertown has had an easy layup here, and Faith just hasn't given up. They've gotten some blocks from over somebody's head and from behind there that I did not see coming. So kudos to them for not packing it in here, and we'll see if they can rebound after this. But good solid game for the Bears here. You're gonna go home. You're gonna enjoy the win. You're gonna like your record here for a little bit. You're gonna have some confidence going into your next game on Saturday.
Late three-pointer there for Tyler Forst. Under a minute left, cuts the lead to 20. And that foul is going to send Class back to the line.
Something else, if Coach Miller can somehow, and this is so tough in practice to simulate this, but something that Boyertown could probably get better with as well is finishing down low. Just finishing, being strong with the ball. And this is a young group, not a lot of seniors on this team. So, the physical strength might not totally be there for some of these guys, but finding a way to finish through traffic and through somebody's arm. And gosh, there were some times where back in high school, Coach Wheeler would literally stand there, and he was a big dude. Coach Wheeler, he was a bodybuilder. He would just rip our arms down and bash us just to try to get us to get used to finishing with contact. And it's so tough to learn as if you're doing it in practice. You kind of almost have to learn it during a game. So again, things that the Bears can grow on and things that they can get better with. But you're going to leave here, you're going to say good job tonight, things to work on tomorrow. and let's get after it.
Looks like they are going to be content to finish this game off with a 21-point victory unless they decide to put up a late layup. There's Butler going to do that right over to Class. Nice little pass, and he does just that. Dylan Class gets 2 more. Under 10 seconds left, and John, that looks like it's going to be it. Unless this late 3 goes in, and it does not. Boyertown finishes the night with a 47-24 point victory over the Lions of Faith Christian Academy. Chris Evans leads the Lions with 7. Gerald Pinkney adds 3. Shane Connor adds 3, as does Bryce Robeson. Tyler Forsch puts in 6. And our man Gorka Di Diego adds 2 for the Lions. They finished the game, John, according to my book, 7 made field goals, 5 of them 3-pointers.
Solid defensive effort for Boyertown, and we liked the pressure that they put on Faith Christian early in the game. We liked how they were coming to trap them in whatever kind of zone look they gave. So it's all about finding your identity right now early in the year. So I think the Bears here seem like a zone pressure type team, which is going to be fun to watch.
Looking at the Boyertown side of the book, Colin Eisenhard makes a foul shot for 1 point on the scoreline. Zach Ward adds 3 with his made 3-pointer. Ryan Tinney puts in 4, as does Dylan Class with a late push from the line in the low block. Jake Kapp on the board with his 7. Richard Black, a few 3-pointers, 3 3-pointers and 2 foul shots give him 11. But the man of the night, John, big man, Eddie Higgins, drops in 17 for the Bears.
Game ball goes to Eddie, and for more than just the points, he was a force down there rebounding, defensively taking a couple of charges for them, and you're looking for, like I said, identity here in a couple of different phases, and Eddie Higgins seems like he's going to be the defensive person for the Bears, the one that kind of gives them their energy, the one that kind of gets them in their spots, and he's going to plug up the middle of that 2-3 zone and make it very tough for teams all year long to score.
We'll certainly see what happens. I think the good first home opponent for Boyertown, they were able to do some things well, able to shake off a little of that rust, I think. It's the same thing we saw with the girls. It wasn't their first game of the season, but their first home game. Always something exciting to do at the start of the season, especially with everything that's gone on the past 2 seasons. But looking at the board behind us, we will be back here for a rare Saturday afternoon game, John. It's going to be a 1:15 start for varsity, taking on Kennett. What is that, Kennett Square?
Yes.
That's officially the name of the high school? So, John, you know what that means. Saturday afternoon game means pregame at the grill shop.
Ooh, good call. Good call. So, so pregame at the grill shop, bring the grill shop here, or we're going to eat it there?
John, no. Grill shop.
This booth would stink like hot dogs for years.
Well, that's part of it. But the other part of it is grill shop needs to be enjoyed on the spot. I mean, they're very good when they get delivered, like we did at West and, on the grill shop Fridays and things like that. It's certainly any chili dog from grill shop or something is not a bad, but something about having it fresh, placed right in front of you. That's my kind of way to go with it.
Jim, I don't know how much time we have here, but I'm going to wholeheartedly disagree with you there. You need that chili sauce and that mustard on that hot dog to seep into the bun. You need that bun to be a tad bit soggy when you're eating it. You need those flavors to just kind of spread throughout the hot dog, Jim. Yeah. Are we going to stand here for?
John,
are we going to stay here for the next half an hour debating this?
Well, maybe it's a debate for another day. I'm going to have to go do some research because research that I will enjoy.
Correct.
Research that I will enjoy. But unfortunately, I don't hit Boyertown until well after closing time for the grill shop.
Correct.
So maybe Doc will stay open late one night for us to do some true research.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Well, we will see you back here Saturday afternoon, 1:15 varsity start. Looking at the rest of the calendar, the girls will be on the 21st of December against O&J Roberts. And then we have a big Christmas present for everyone. We got a doubleheader on the 23rd, John.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Spring Ford. Always a big matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Spring Ford, I believe the boys are at 6, girls are at 7:30. We will be here for both games. And we will see you on Saturday afternoon right here on the NFHS Network.